Cheon co-chair, à notre président régional,
Good
à la
morning to our 21 co-chair, our
bonjour
regional
aux
president,
chefs
our
régionaux, à tous les leaders
regional vice
régionaux,
president. Good morning to all
les
the
directeurs
sub-regional
régionaux
directors, all
et
the
surtout à nos
national
parents au
leaders,
niveau central.
and most importantly, all our parents,
Et
essential
je
families.
serai votre MC
Thank you for being
de
here.
ce
This
jour.
morning I'll be your MC
Et donc,
for today's
sans plus
session.
tarder, il est déjà
So without wasting more time, it's already 4 a.m. We are going to present today's program with the help of the technical team.
la technique. Si nous pouvons avoir le programme.
Technical team, please, can you share the program with us?
OK, voilà. Merci beaucoup. Donc,
Thank
ce
you.
matin, nous aurons la
So
salutation
this morning,
et aux
I'll
parents du
start
ciel
with
de l'humanité.
the greeting to heavenly
Nous
parents and
aurons ensuite
parents.
la promesse des familles en ces points 5 et 6.
After which we are going to start the family page, and number 5 and number 6. And then we'll move on
Le
to
leader
the opening prayer
révérend Pedro.
by the national leader of
Et c'est la
Angola,
lecture du
Reverend
révérend
Pedro
Emmanuel
Kinabuta,
Anognon, leader
and then
national du Bénin.
the meeting will be done by
Après
Reverend
cela, le
Emmanuel
président
Anonyo,
régional va
national leader of
donner
Benin.
les mots d'ouverture.
After which the regional
Et la
president will
session
give the
5
opening
sera
remarks,
l'affaire de notre
and
21
the
co-chair.
session 5 will be given by
Nous
our
aurons les
21
interludes
co-chair.
musicaux.
We're going
Et
to have an
après,
interlude,
la session
and
6
after
sera
that,
développée
we're going to have
par
the
le
sixth
vice-président.
session principally
Nous
by
donnerons aussi quelques
the
mots.
regional vice
Et après
president.
cela, nous aurons des mots d'encouragement, les
After
annonces
which, we're going to have
et
lots of
le président régional
encouragements,
donnera la
announcements,
cerise
and
sur le gâteau
the
pour
regional
les
president will
remarques
come
de clôture.
for the closing
Nous aurons une
remarks.
prière
And you will then have a
3 minutes.
unison prayer,
Après
3
quoi, nous
minutes unison
allons
prayer,
faire
after
la
which will
promotion
be
des
the parents and
Après
children
cela,
of
la
another
photo de
and
famille
mankind.
viendra et nous
After that,
permettra
we're
tous
going to have a
de
family
pouvoir,
picture,
quand nous
and
allons clôturer, faire nos 12 prosternations chacun chez nous.
let's not forget we're
Merci
not
beaucoup.
going to be done yet to
Donc, sans
offer the
plus
12
tarder, nous
balls
allons
in our
saluer
various
les
homes.
vrais parents du
So
ciel
without
des
wasting more time, we're going to be the heavenly
Bénin.
parents of an energy and
Avec l'aide
mankind.
de la technique, nous allons encore une fois de plus demander l'affichage de la photo des vrais
So
parents.
with the technical team, we're going to advise about on change of Kambe,
Baro.
Baro.
Merci beaucoup. Nous allons passer maintenant
Thank you very much.
à
We're
la
now going
promesse
to
des
move on
familles.
to the
Promesse
family
des
page.
familles numéro 5. Notre famille souveraine de
Family
Cheon
page number 5.
promet, en se
A family
fondant
do
sur
not
l'amour vrai, de
to
contribuer chaque jour par ses efforts
They
à
should share
édifier
the
rapidement
education of the spirit
l'éternel
and physical
prophète
whole,
en tant que
assumption
partenaire
of the
sujet et
partners,
allié.
my essential true love.
Numéro 6. Notre
6.
famille
Our family
souveraine de
do not
Cheon promet, en se
pledges to
centrant sur
become the
l'amour
family
vrai,
that most
de représenter
fortune
pleinement le
by
parent céleste
embodying
et les vrais parents, de
heavenly
mobiliser
parents and
ainsi
true
la
parents,
doctrine céleste
and to
et les
reflect the family
transmettre
that
aux
conveys
nouvelles
blessing to our
générations.
community.
Merci beaucoup.
Thank you very
Nous allons
much.
maintenant y aller avec la
We are
prière.
now going to move on to the opening prayer.
Très cher
Pedro.
Cheon, co-chair, très cher
The
président
Reverend
régional, très
21
cher
co-chair,
vice-président régional, très cher responsable sous-régionaux,
the
très
regional
cher
president, the regional vice
représentants des
president,
applicants
the
du parent céleste.
national leaders, and
Bonjour,
the
je vous
national
invite à moi pour la prière d'ouverture de notre service
Lord
de ce
parents
matin.
present here, please join me for the opening
Parents
prayer.
cosmiques, parents du ciel,
Beloved Heavenly
Père de toute
Parent,
l'humanité,
parents of heaven and earth and
nous, tes
mankind,
enfants, nous venons en ce jour
we,
aujourd'hui
your
devant
children,
Dieu pour saluer
are
et
coming
demander
in front of
merci pour
you
la
this
vie
morning
que tu nous as
to greet
assigné.
you
Parents
and
cosmiques, parents du ciel, de la terre, de toute l'humanité. Nous
say
savons
you
que
thank
bien
you
que
for
notre
this life you give
ancien
to
a pu
us.
reculer, ton souci a été toujours
Those Heavenly
de vivre
Parents,
avec
we
l'homme.
know that
L'homme a été créé
your wish
pour
has always been to live
si
with human beings
l'homme a été
because
créé
we know
pour
human beings have
bénéficier de la
been
nature,
created to
le
be
centre de
your
l'univers.
sons,
Malheureusement,
to
à
be
cause du
a lot
péché,
of creations.
c'est créé un grand fossé
But
entre
unfortunately,
toi et nous, les êtres humains.
a big gap
Tu as
was
travaillé
created
durement
between
au cours de la
you
providence
and human beings.
pour récupérer l'homme.
But you've worked hard
La récupération
for
est fonction de sa
the providence of restoration. Know that the restoration of human beings is also dependent of their own personal responsibility. That is why once more together in this morning we are gathered for this morning devotion. We pray that all the good spiritual world, all the blessed liberated ancestors should be with us so that all what we're going to hear here should help us and in turn to heal this emptiness in ourselves. I really want to pray that all those who take the floor here should be used by the good spiritual world. Thank you very much. We want to pray that during this meeting that constitutes the preparation of a blessing throughout this year, which is special year. We pray that it should be with us so that this education, traditional education centered on the preparation for the matching and the blessing, permit us to change things because we know that the hope of tolerance has always been to be able to establish the ideal world. And the ideal world is established through the essential families, through families that sacrifice themselves for the establishment of the ideal world. That is why we are coming in front of you once more. We pray that Heavenly Parent should not see our imperfections because we know we have nothing, no one else you can use.
De représenter l'histoire de la providence de la restauration et nous avons une grande responsabilité pour que nous puissions arriver à donner la victoire du côté du parent cosmique, du côté du parent des cieux de la terre. Merci beaucoup et nous.
Thank you, beloved parents. We really want to put everything into your hands.
Cette rencontre de ce matin, nous demandons tout ceci.
This morning meeting, I really want to cover the essential
famille bénisse.
Essential family.
Merci beaucoup, Révérend Pedro, pour cette prière si profonde. Nous allons maintenant bloquer la parole des vrais parents ce matin. Soyons donc attentifs. Recevoir le de pouvoir tirer profit tout au long. À l'oignon.
In order to inspire throughout the video around Aglonion and Emmanuel, national leader of Benin, will do the Monoke reading. Reverend, you have the floor.
Bonjour au Cheon co-chair, au président régional.
Thank you, Reverend Bedrick. Good morning to the Cheon co-chair.
Différents directeurs de
Good morning to all the national leaders of the department directors of the central families of the Heavenly Parents of the community. I'm going to read today's on the cave, which is an excerpt from As a peace-loving global citizen, which is the True Father's autobiography, under the title Promises That Must Never Be Broken. The reason today's society does not have a level of happiness to match its level of material affluence is that families are being destroyed. To save families, adults must first live proper lives.
Les adultes doivent d'abord mener une vie correcte. Ensuite,
then it is possible to raise children in sexual purity.
La mère est la forteresse qui protège la famille. Quels que soient les changements de la société, la famille.
The mother is a fortress that protects the family. No matter how much society may change, the family can stand as a healthy and peaceful family only if the mother has the heart to sacrifice and serve. It is in such a family that beautiful children can grow. In educating our children, What the children see and learn in the family is most important. A crab that walks sideways cannot tell its offspring to walk straight ahead. The parents must show the good example. True children comes from true families. Truth is always very simple. The most difficult aspect of family life is raising children properly. We give birth to them in love and raise them in love, but they don't necessarily grow up the way their parents desire. What's worse, today's materialistic civilization is destroying the innocent minds of young people. Young people should be growing up to become responsible adults capable of extraordinary things are being lost to drugs. Drug induced states make people lose touch with their own spirit. Young people who have lost their spirits eventually can only fall into crime and sexual immorality. During adolescence, children think everything should be centered only on themselves, and so there is a tendency to rebel against things the parents may say. If parent does not respond with understanding, there is possibility that the child may go to the self-centered extremes. On the other hand, a child in adolescence that can be deeply moved by anything that seems to connect with his heart. Perhaps on an autumn day, the child will see a persimmon fall from a tree that has lost all its leaves. The child cannot explain it, but somehow it connects with his heart, and he will smile and experience happiness. This is a sign that God's original character is dwelling in his heart. True.
Joe. Merci beaucoup, révérend Alognon, pour cette brillante lecture qui nous rappelle vraiment l'essence de notre devoir. Très
Thank you, Reverend Alonyo, for this reading
et je pense
that
qu'on est
really
vraiment à
reminds
béni ce
us
soir de
of
saisir
our
de ce message du
mission
matin.
that
Donc,
is
sur ce message,
really
notre président
profound and
national,
interesting.
et
So,
même qui
based on
est
this message, our
commencement de
regional
notre
president,
Afrique,
who is the
celui-là
beginning
même qui est
of
le
our African continent,
papa de
who
notre
is the father
de
of
notre
our
région,
African
va nous
continent, of our
intervenir
region,
et nous donner des
will
qui vont certainement
give us
édifier
opening
cette région.
remarks for
Président
this day.
régional, avec
Regional
tous les honneurs, s'il
president,
vous plaît,
with all the
aidez-moi à
honors,
recevoir
please let's
révérend Jean-Pierre
welcome
Kadima. Avec
Reverend Jean-Pierre Kadima with a round of applause.
Merci, Révérend Bakary, pour m'avoir accordé
Thank
la
you,
parole.
Reverend Bakary, for giving me the floor.
J'ai dit bonjour à
Good
Cheon,
morning to our General Co-Chair, Reverend Bakary Camara,
Madame Mica,
our Regional Vice President, Mrs. Mica Amanlaman, Secretary General
à tous les directeurs sous-régionaux,
of
à
our
tous
region,
les
all
leaders
the
nationaux,
sub-regional directors, all the national leaders of the central families, and
des vraies
all
familles.
the leaders of potential organizations.
Les enfants viennent de vraies familles.
Blessed children come from blessed families.
Qui montre la suffisance et qui nous fait comprendre pourquoi nous sommes là,
This reading really shows us why we are here, why we must do all our possible,
fournir un effort considérable pour réaliser ce que
make
nos
considerable
parents
efforts to realize what true parents are
et
telling us.
dans ce monde perverti,
In this
dans ce
perverted world,
où tout semble rose,
in this world where everything seems
à
beautiful,
l'intérieur,
why inside
il n'y a rien,
everything is rotten. We don't have the choice.
Faire entendre la voix de Dieu à nos enfants de le plus bas âge et
Then
continuer
to make our children from the younger age to hear God's voice, to support them in prayer, in the life of faith, and most importantly, be attentive so that they can be protected from today's realities. Unfortunately, uh, even though we do so much efforts because of because we neglect them, this or that may happen. So it's not time for us to discourage ourselves because we have the truth, we have the word, and most importantly, we have the power to change everything and to move towards a direction that has been shown by our beloved parents by a certain victory. So it is not for nothing that we are gathered in this morning
résonner nos cœurs, nos voix,
before doing anything else. So resonate our hearts and hear God's voice through those who can inspire us, particularly through the three generational structure established by our true parents for the providence and
du Messie ou pour pérenniser son
also
héritage.
to be able to
Sans pérenniser cet héritage, nous ne sommes que des personnes qui sont venues
make this heritage to be lasting, because if we don't do that, we will be like just
informés,
passive actors where we should be active ones, because we have been formed, we have been educated and oriented towards a purpose, which is the realization of Chonigu. In this period of the Black Rabbit, very important period of the providence, in this period where we can feel the love of the only begotten daughter of God, we don't have the possibility, we don't have the choice. We must be successful, and for that we have to work like one family in order to find a solution in the various issues we have.
La famille, c'est tout ce qu'il y a de plus
Because the family is what is most important. The family is what is most precious, and most importantly, true family, the true family which we are part of and which we have to move on to our descendants. Don't allow us to make any error.
Les milliers qui ont voulu être comme nous, mais qui ne peuvent pas l'être.
So there were so many thousands who wanted to be like us but could not. So we have to give our best for the victory.
La bienvenue à
So I
cette
wish you all a welcome to this session and pray so that the grace of Heavenly Parents, His parental love, will resonate in our hearts,
les objectifs
so
que
that
nous sommes
we can realize the goals that were set for the year 2023, and most importantly for the month of May. We have to be gathered once more in front of our parents with a pure offering. You're all welcome. Thank you very much. Let's thank our regional president with a round of applause. Thank you for this opening remarks. Now we are going to prepare ourselves, mind and body, to receive the essential session of the day, the session that will be given by our grandfather, the grandfather of Africa, and the grandfather that always guides us. With him, we are sure that we are moving towards a good path. So please, let's all welcome with a round of applause our 21 co-chair, Reverend Bakary Camara.
Bonjour. Merci beaucoup, Reverend Bakary.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Reverend Bakary, for this round of applause that makes me forget my mission. But I'm sure it's coming from your heart, so thank you. Thank you to our regional president, Reverend Kazima. Thank you for these opening remarks. I think under this foundation, we are ready to start. See, you contaminated me now. I'm speaking in French.
Yeah, I'm very grateful to be here, President Kadima, on this platform. I always feel fresh when I am with you, with all the staff from headquarters and all the sub-regional directors and national leaders and blessed families. Really is a very cordial meeting. We should always be happy and hopeful to come to such a meeting, like, it's like some kind of refreshment. But I'm sorry, sometimes it's too late, too early, particularly for Western region of Africa, 4 o'clock. Here where I am now, oh, by the way, I just arrived yesterday in Zambia, but the same time zone like South Africa. So if here is, we start 6 o'clock, you start 4 o'clock. In Kenya, they start 7 o'clock. So 4 o'clock in Western Africa is quite a bit of sacrifice. But the good side of it, the good side of Apple is you are making more condition, more sacrifice, so you receive more, obviously, because you are opening your basket more widely. Then you receive more blessing. And so please bear with us. We are not in the same time zone. So today is really about sharing with the parent. And it's a privilege. We have the model case, 2 parents. And they always share with us what is important to make our goal so we can achieve our goals. So that's why I want to take some reference from there. But at the same time, I really wanted also to appreciate the community living together. Even such a platform, to be honest, if we are not together and sharing, sometimes we can lose hope, certain places where we don't know what to do, or we can lose inspiration because we cannot get everything by ourselves. We have been created in the way like only when we are living together in interdependence, then life becomes more easier and we got resources. That's why even in the secular world, we have different functions. Some are very good cook, some are good, some are farmers, and some are doctors, some are teachers, and some are pilots. So you can name them, plenty of skills. But unless they come together, if we don't come together, everything slows down. The pilot need to make sure, even though flying the app, he had to make sure he got nice food. And that food coming from farmer eventually. The farmer is the one day and night eventually taking care of those beautiful elements to finally can be given. So we are living together. And that's only external side. Think about it, internal side, in emotional side. Emotionally, we have to be comforting each other. So that is why family living together or family sharing together is the only way we can be successful and we can be peaceful and we can have enough security. It's extraordinary. So to think about and even to think about it. So I wanted to share a little bit about this. Seems that we are trying to achieve this very fundamental goal in our life to create a next generation, to recreate the environment for the next generation to survive and to live according to the promise, to live according to the will. So we have no other choice. We have no other choice than to come together and absolutely work together to pave the way, make the road, and give chance to the next generation to take over the will and the will. So that's why it's a very good and very providential program and providential platform. I'm sure sooner or later, this program will make a big impact in our community. In short term, yes, also in long term, if we maintain the tradition, it's absolutely sure. There is some communities already, you can see through them. I'm not saying they are doing the whole thing right, but they at least externally can see, like Muslim communities, certain places, how they are sharing things, and Indian community, Hindus, they are working together, Mormons. So most of the time they maintain very solid friendship, solidarity. So they can move and overcome so many things because they are helping each other. They are taking care of each other's need. And those in the vulnerable situation also, they are accommodating them when they are in the vulnerable situation. So that's why it's important to think about it. And I'm grateful to be here with you. And I would like to share my my screen with you, but don't worry, I put my clock on timing. So wherever I stop there, I will stop there. So that is how I am planning to do. So I will share my screen with you and to share a bit of True Parents' Word, centering on the family issues, family unity, family living together, helping each other. So I will ask Mrs. Barrow to help me, if it's necessary, in terms of reading. So today, centering on this program, I wanted to share about the relationship, the healthy relationship between blessed families. Because I had to say healthy, because some relationship also can be against our own development. Like if a relationship based on criticism and based on plot and based on bad news or fake news, people say it's not good. It should be a healthy relationship based on heavenly tradition. So True Parent mentioned a few words, which I will put on. And so we can reflect. It's, as I said, everything I really want to share with you is things I'm going through myself, to look at myself through it, because, well, I cannot fake myself. I have to make sure what I'm saying, it got some connection with my life. And without that sincerity, it's a torture to talk, because if you don't try your best to resemble what you are saying, it's actually very difficult with the conscience. So that's the reality is. So let us see this word. Mrs. Barrow, can you read this for me? If you are there. Are you there? All right. It looks like she's not there.
I'm here, family. Chairman. Sorry,
well,
I'm waiting for the mic to get open. Sorry about that. A blessed family is an agency of heaven. The blessing is precious only after you fulfill your responsibility. The family is a microchurch. It should be the agency of heaven. It should be a family that God would want to visit. At least 3 families should live together. In particular, what I want to say today is, first, your families should be the ones that many people can visit. harmony among people is most important. Second, heavenly families should build solidarity with one another. At the very least, you should be completely united with the other families in your blessing trinity.
So as we can see, the family Rupert saying is a micro church. So then healthy family eventually will build healthy churches or communities and naturally healthy nations. So we are lucky. It's not a curse. It's a blessing to have many families surrounding us. So we don't want to miss the chance. It's important to reach out them to create some relationship. That's the way to go. So as you know, in human responsibility, the starting point of everything is a little bit challenging. Even to go to visit my neighbor or my closest family members, I am talking blessed families, sometimes looks a little bit awkward. It's not straightforward. This, we know the reason is because our bad habit or fallen nature, the tendency is to be selfish. So to get out of myself, to see others, to reach them out, to greet them, to give them a little bit of support, to help them to clean their house, help them washing a little bit of dishes, help them give some homework to their children. So sometimes it's not straightforward, unless with clear conscience, we make a determination. So nothing will come automatically in human life. We have been created with a responsibility. Last time I was talking about that. So unless I decide to stand and work and go and see somebody, when I'm there, instead to sit down on the couch, I stand again and go in the kitchen or somewhere to clean up, to make something happen. Unless that's done, human responsibility is not accomplished. And without human responsibility, we are not entitled to receive grace and true nourishment for our for our heart and mind. So that's why it's important to see others like resources, like opportunity. They are not a curse. They are not too much for me. There should be an opportunity for me to grow and to be able to see my future grow too. And that is the reality. So family is like a church. And lifestyle should be there also. Not means everybody become a church leader or pastor. It's not like that. It's the maintenance of a tradition of attendance. It should be same. Not only waiting Sunday or holidays to go to become holy, but holiday is all the time, all the moment. So then, okay, probably I'm not capable to do that at all circumstances. So what is the key point there to maintain the fire? Is a humble attitude. You have to be really humble, seek for forgiveness from heaven, and maintain the cup to keep the promise that you're going to do better. So that kind of blessed family become now like where blessed families become where everything is manufactured for to resemble the purpose of creation, image of God. So that's why it's important we can remember that. Next.
A united Trinity is a foothold of God's will. The three couples in the Trinity must unite, becoming a principled foothold that can represent the will of God. In other words, if they can become a Trinity determined not to change, even if heaven were to change, then they will have made a foundation for God's will to be realized.
The traditional Trinity has been installed by true parents because people are moving around and their missions and many other activities, changes have occurred. It's not easy to maintain the same families Yeah, I can take my personal experiences. I have one Trinity family member is in Germany. I have one family Trinity member is in Cote d'Ivoire. And, even some part of that went to the spiritual world. So we are not necessarily living together, a different part of the world, but the communication should stand. And thank to heaven, we are with this technology now, like we are different places, we can still communicate. And even beyond that, we can also pray for each other. Even beyond that, we can make offering for each other. Like for example, if I go to Sunday service, instead to have one envelope, I can also prepare 2 more envelopes. If not all the time, certain time, 2 more envelopes. Okay, this is my Trinity member. This is for this family. This is for this family. Just put together. That kind of conscientiousness is really extraordinary. It creates some kind of atmosphere like you are together, and the spiritual world like that. Of course, heavenly parents want that. So that's one way to, if you want to continue living with a traditional Trinity, because many of us got Trinity, but also that can be implemented where we are. It's not forbidden to have more than 10 Trinity. If you can maintain and create an environment to grow and make other people grow, well, definitely you are winning. We are only winning. So wherever we are certainly somewhere. And in each nation or each region or sub-region, whatever, we are somewhere. So then we can create a momentum to try to share with others. Visit them, it's not a problem. Visit them, see them, and try to work something together. So when I came yesterday, I saw 3 families. Well, it just struck me and seeing together. They are young still, like Kwame's family, they call it Kwame's families here. They are young. I'm not talking about everybody else, but just one example. Kwame's family, Andy's family, and Philip's family. The children are almost the same age. They are together mixed it up. Sometimes they, so if they can maintain that kind of thing, I'm sure even when the children reach certain level, definitely there will be comfort for each other. Yeah. So if they maintain healthy relationship, meaning to create a more effort to see the good side of the other person and utilize that and promote it and share that with the children. You have to share the goodness of people you are living with others. Negative side, you don't talk about it. Just pray so that can be taken care of to be completely solved. But good side of apple, please remember that. We always eat the good side of the apple. We don't eat the part of the apple with already rotten. So, and when you do that, then naturally, the children also learn to respect others and enjoy them and try to also copy from them, because sooner or later, our children will not necessarily learn from us. It will be a little bit boring. They want to hear from uncle, from auntie, from siblings. They really want to hear from them. And if they are speaking the same heart, we are the same page, on the same page. So it's confirmed. So that's why we may become now a father and a mother, recognized by the children. Otherwise, we are still there like somebody trying to push things down. Maybe it's not bad, but to be strict, honestly, is not enough. Life needs to be sharing, and also it should be consistent. And it should be also almost universal, like people are doing the same thing you are talking about. If it's done in an isolated way, for growing people, they can feel that very strange. So that's the way, coming together, living together as a family, or respect each other, or visiting each other, working together, witnessing together, singing together, is a healthy way to create a foundation for the next generation. So it's not too late. Honestly speaking, it's not too late. We can still come to that kind of environment. Instead to be in my own place somewhere, well, it can be there, but at least weekly or twice a week, well, we go for lunch for somewhere or dinner somewhere, to do it together. You're going to say, probably I'm too idealistic, but trust me, it's possible. Whereas if you really want it, you will find a way. If twice a week is difficult, once a week is possible. Otherwise, once every month, why not? Next.
Treat the children of other families the same way you treat your own children. Originally, a trinity of 3 families should live together for more than 3 years. Within the trinity, you should be able to take turns and live with the children of the other families, treating them the same way you treat your own children. You don't think of this as bothersome. You are a failure. Living this way, you do not have to worry if one of the husbands in the trinity dies. In that case, the other 2 families would shoulder the responsibility together.
As you can see, it's very clear and also straightforward. This even been mentioned in many holy books, including the Bible. Treat others like you would like to treat yourself. But this one is more relevant to us now as a parent. If you want really to give true nourishment, true element to make our children grow, to protect them, then try to treat other children the same way. So that's God's nature. So that is something. It can be also very practical, I'm telling you. It's something I tried and I still continue. It's not perfect, I still continue. When you give gift to one child from you, try to give 3 to other 3 people. That's why, and it's possible because the gift you want to give to 3 other people, to your child, you can divide it into 3. Let us say, if I'm sorry to say, let us say if it's $3, well, you can divide to $1, something like that. So, meaning to give a little bit of sense of fairness, because many in our community, they are in difficulties, in challenges, and it's, for me, deeply in my heart, is not their fault. I've always feel really bad and also repentful, because in the community, when you say people, vulnerable people, they are paying the price for everybody. So they are paying the price for all of us. If we on the front line, that is my personal feeling. Some is paying the price, and then the road become clearer for those. It's like a soldier, sometimes they are sacrificed for finally, the final victory. And those who are bringing the flag, they are welcome like a hero. But meantime, some has been sacrificed already, and so they can see the way out. So this is how we are together as a cells in the body. So some cells sacrifice for the survival of others. And this is this way of doing things is not only a benefit for others, it also benefit for me. And I know the difference clearly. When I share a gift or anything or prayer for those closest to me, and I try to extend to others, I feel very good about it, honestly speaking. But if it's the other way around, I feel bad, sad, and I don't enjoy anymore giving that gift in that level. So it's something to learn. And the worst scenario to be discouraged. Don't be discouraged if I don't do this here now, I cannot do this. Don't be discouraged. We are living being God children, so do we have a power? I think somebody, Ron Kadima was just saying that in his, we have a power to do it. We have a power, and that's power coming from heaven. So we cannot minimize or undermine our own ability to do things because we are not alone. So never be discouraged as Blessed Central Family, knowing certain reality, and I have some limitation, I cannot do it now. Well, I can do tomorrow. We cannot do tomorrow, next week, try. It's not a problem. I tried, sometimes I check, when I was talking with the kids here, when they are growing up, I said, well, one way to overcome a fallen nature, even for lying, if you are lying 10 times a week, well, he can make a condition to reduce it 8 times a week. They were laughing. They say, well, so he can lie 8 times a week. I said, well, better than lying 10 times, you know. So then if it's 8, he reduce again 6. And after I reduce again 4, so on and so forth. So it looks a little bit strange way, but also is logical. If you want to diminish the capacity to do to be introduced in certain thing you don't like, you have to go step by step. Because if you start all together, well, it's possible, but easily also you can give up. So any circumstances, our fallen nature or bad habit you want to reduce, you want to quit step by step. That's more accurate. It's more sure. If you want to get out once a week, today, it's possible. I'm not saying not possible, but sometimes people fall down again. So why I'm saying that, there is the standard of true parents is very high. And also the word is very clear. So don't be discouraged because you cannot do everything now. Start by 1, and after 2, and after 3, and so on and so forth. So let us learn how to treat other children like my children. Even you can go to the point to take some of your scholarship you are giving to your children to share with somebody, you know, but don't tell them. You don't say, oh, I'm doing no. You do that in the façon incognito. You don't tell them I'm doing that. No, it's not necessary. Just doesn't mean you have to share to everybody. It's not necessary. So anything you try for the goodness of my child or the child given to me to raise up, so I do for others too. If you cannot do for 2, you do for 1. Yeah. That's why today, this platform is extraordinary because many of you are engaged now to stimulate, to encourage our second generation to at least to learn about the value of the blessing and to be inspired. And one day, eventually, they're going to get involved in it. They need somebody to talk, not only their physical parent. They need somebody to give inspiration, not necessarily a physical parent. You know, when with some of my spiritual children, they said sometimes when I'm talking to them, many things like problem, I'm talking to you now, they say, wow, tes paroles là sont périmées parce que tu dis ça tout le temps. Can you believe it? They say what I'm saying is inspired. So I say, well, maybe if the medicine, you use the same medicine all the time for a sickness, that means the sickness is still there. It's not changed yet. So basically that kind of communication, but frank communication at least, is a frank communication, sincere communication. So then the conscience start moving. That the power of the conscience come alive. If the sincerity is between us, trust is between ourselves. So let us try from today or from next week, how to look other children like mine, you know, all of them. Let us try. And it make a tremendous stimulation in my own heart. And it creates more power to reach out to more people. Why? Because that's how God nature is.
The children of families must become one. You cannot be a son of filial piety by yourself. You can only become such a son centering on a Trinity in which 3 brothers become one. You know what the Trinity is, don't you? You must become one in your Trinity. The 3 families in the Trinity must become one as brothers and sisters. And then again, the 3 children of each family must become one. Then 3 times 4 makes 12, making 12 children. This became the first foundation for Israel. This is the origin for creating the branches of families, clans, and then tribes.
Amazing. We really have a tool and a platform. I saw also some good example here in Zambia. It's a bit external, but they are bringing them internally. I think they are making cooperative, working together, and even to find a way they can have a land for the future generation to have where they can stay. Various families are getting a portion of land together. I think the national leader is plenty aware about that, and really very well planned in a certain way. The reason I'm talking about it, because if it was only, I believe it is only one, probably will be difficult to get those land for the future. But because they are coming together, they are coming as an association, they support each other, and they give guarantee for each other, then the community is open for them. And those who are the mayor, or the government, or the authority giving the land, trust them. And eventually, they receive a place. It's really inspiring. And also another case is this blessing, this prayer mothers. I started there, we started together with only three mothers. Three mothers. It came as a thunderstorm in my heart. The necessity, of course, we know that, but sometimes not relevant. It doesn't come quickly. Like sometimes we forget which day we are living, when we are busy. So things are not necessarily clear. But if heaven wants to help you, it comes down so real that he never thought it like that before. So these three ladies also, they inspire me, the dedication, at the same time also their faith, because their other part, their husband, are in the spiritual world, the three of them. And they're really consistent in life of attendance. I'm not talking about that they're all perfect, but I see myself always, if I'm in such a kind of circumstances, how can I do? How can I keep hope and keep going and keep happy? I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. So they inspire me in their lifestyle. So I thought maybe God, heaven trusts them. So what about if they have a prayer group together to support our activities? I'm sure heaven will listen to them, even more than myself. And particularly they are three also, almost same age, So it's extraordinary. So then they start praying, three. And after today, I think everybody knows about this prayer mothers. It's all over the place. And it creates so much support for the providence, so much unity, and so much also hope, really creating a tradition. Then it's visible, it's tangible, and also you can sense it. So this Trinity issue is not just a mechanic way to put people together. It's a spiritual way to create stability and to create also assurance. And of course, harmony. We learn to build a harmony. Without harmony, there is no happiness. Without harmony, there is no true life. We are isolated and nothing starts without harmony. So that's the reason. If you don't have the true original Trinity, because I know many has been organized in Trinity, if you don't have it, create it without forgetting the original Trinity. We can create where you are. Also, three is a beginning. Yeah, it's a good way to be stable, but it can go over. It can be 4, 5, 6, 7, as much you can to live together, to share together, and help each other. So heaven have no other choice than come also to join you. All right. Okay, I'm following up.
Create a unity of action, lifestyle, and thought within families. The ideal world of the future will be maintained through trinities of families. The purpose of creation is to realize the four-position foundation. Since human beings first need to perfect the four-position foundation, everyone first is to establish a family. It is only when you feel the value of this God-given Trinity that you will understand God's ideal and will feel it enough that you can live your life in God's position here on earth. The purpose of forming trinities is to create a unity of action, lifestyle, and thought. Actions rooted in faith are systematic and principled.
So coming together as a group of family, start by three eventually, we had to also develop the unity in action. We had to have a one direction, and that direction is centered on leadership, centered on true parent. That's what I say, healthy relationship. We can't be 3 families together and we don't follow the center. And that is already a big problem. It's another type of family, which is not real family. So when we are together as a family, we should be having unity among ourselves. But that unity among ourselves is centered on the center. If you are in a provincial environment, make sure you are centered on your provincial leader. If you are in a national level, make sure you are completely united with national program, national activity, national leaders. The same in regional, sub-regional, and regional. Because that is the key point. I call that some kind of, you have to get sure you got in your own orbit. You have the center and you have to turn the orbit. I like solar system or any system that is so well prepared, but no element or globe can stay alone. They are always depending with a center. They have to have a center. I don't know how to emphasize that a lot. I believe in that so much. You always need a center. Never be without a center. Never be without a center. We have to have a center. Who is your center? Who is your center to get direction, to get orientation, to get advice, so you can be able to do your offering. This is something so critical. So when we come together, we don't come an association together without center. And the center is Heavenly Parent, True Parent, or their representative in where we are at different levels. Lifestyle, same thing. We don't engage in lifestyle, which is not reflecting the future of eternity. Lifestyle together. So maybe it's not perfect to start with, but that's why we are helping each other to encourage each other and give advice to each other. Not publicly giving hard time to anybody, but quietly sit down and help each other. Action, lifestyle, and thought. So this is, well, we can see it's True Parents saying that. So, but it's so important for healthy relationship, So if we maintain that, then we are clear that the next generation, they will trust necessarily this foundation, because that the way we are describing True Parents talking about it is not today's world like that. But today is based on criticism, taking advantage on others, domination, and completely controlling others. It's not sharing, it's controlling and take advantage of others. So people will know it through their conscience. So we don't worry about it. If next generation got challenged to not do this thing now, then we find out. We know, because when it's cold, we cover ourselves, for sure. When it's hot, well, we find a place when it's cold. So naturally, we have to create an environment where next generation, our relatives, feel where we are is a better place. Yeah, next.
United families show the way to unite the world. When the 3 siblings unite and the 6 people in the Trinity become one, you can do anything. You can even turn heaven and earth upside down. It has been said that when 2 or 3 people pray together, God will be with them. When the Trinity becomes one, there is nothing you cannot do. This is something the Unification Church can be proud of. The 3 families must live together as brothers and sisters and then go out into the world. It is the principle that no family can leave that place unless the 3 become one. That is why we have to establish restored families that can be closer than secular brothers and sisters. If we ourselves cannot unite, then we cannot unite the world.
Many times in a joking format, where I said, I ask people, where is your brother? Where is your uncle? Sometimes they show me very far place. Or isn't that place? In that place. And think about it. It also make me think. But when you call them, when that brother or cousin received the blessing, or not blessed yet. So I say, I think it's the way to be. Soon he will become your brother, maybe, but it's not yet, because different blood lineage altogether. It's not only different father, different mother, it's different blood lineage altogether. So who are my brothers and sisters? Please let us look around. Let us promote our blood lineage. Let us promote our heavenly families. And then that's not selfish. I'm telling you why. Because by doing so, those who are not there will be attracted in. And that's the way of salvation. That's the way of the future. But if our own relative, we call our own, this is my blessed family, this is my this and that, if there is no harmony in there, we don't take care of them, we look far away, then people have no interest to join where we are. Anyway, they will not join anything because there is nothing to join, because no community to join, because we are looking very far. Our cousin is there, my family is there, my brother and sister is there, my father is there. Think about it. Somebody say, my father, where is he? I say, how old is that? Where is he? I say, I thought we have same father and mother. And now he come back. But those, I would not say it's going to be automatic. But you have to know it and try to work towards it, that we are truly born. We have one set of true parents. We have one set of true parents, and we need all to inherit their blood lineage. And so we can go together in harmony as a line. Anyway, so to finish, conclude, because it remains 1 minute.
We must create a family-centered system. The blessed family trinities must become completely one. They should help each other economically. Trinity families should not be concerned about their own individual and family problems. Rather, each family should comfort and assist the other families in the Trinity so that they can all move forward together as one. Through this, when the families in the Trinity attain the standard where they can transcend economic problems, unite together in spirit, eat and live together, they will do new works. Therefore, let us strengthen a system centered on the Trinity. This is an important condition in establishing the standard for families and preparing the new beginning for this era. When your three families motivate and raise each other up, then these three families, as a trinity, can raise up 36 families. This is the principle of development in the Unification Church. We must create this family-centered system.
So basically, yeah, living together, reaching out other family, that's the key. You don't stuck on my trinity. You may waste time there. You have already family nearby, living close, or at least the same areas, or even same areas on heavily travel Messiah activities. So we have other families, they've got children to raise. And maybe I don't have direct one to raise, or some of my children already raised up, they are become independent. So we have a cooperation. The cooperation is not just to make a financial activity, which is also important, but also the most importantly, to raise up our children together. We really need to cooperate to raise our children together. To raise God's children, we are living together. To raise the future generation, we have to come together. We have to deny now this closed door. We have to really break it. This closed door, my family, my children, it doesn't make sense. We will lose them. I'm telling you, we will lose them. Let us come together, minimum 3 or more. Now our community become larger and larger. Let us enjoy our relationship together and promote it, and really, really promote it. We have to promote our relationship. And when we do that, our community become truly healthy and heavenly, holy community. So anyway, I wanted to talk about that, a few things. I want to conclude by this. Let us become the true owner of Cheon. It's very meaningful, who practice true love in a resemblance to our Creator, the Heavenly Parent. Thank you, and God bless you.
Merci au Cheon co-chair.
Thank you to the 21 co-chair with a round of applause. Let's really thank our 21 co-chair.
Devons vivre
The
ensemble.
word is really deep. We have to live together. We have to be united. We have to create solidarity. We have to love each other.
Montrer la
And
voie
when we are united this way, we can show the path for the unity in this war. So dear Central families, if let's once more receive with a heart of gratitude the words of our 21 co-chair. With a round of applause once more, please. Thank you very much. We are now going to breathe a little bit with the musical interpretation from the technical team.
우리 탈북 청년들은 독도와 정체성이 비슷합니다. 독도가 지리적으로 한반도에서 멀리 떨어져 동해바다에 홀로 서 있지만 독도는 남한 사람, 북한 사람 모두가 사랑하는 우리의 땅입니다. 그렇기에 독도는 남과 북을 잇는 징검다리인 셈입니다. 독도와 마찬가지로 탈북 청년들을 희망의 눈으로 바라보고 응원해 준다면 북한도 경험하고 남한도 경험한 우리 탈북 청년들은 통일시대에 남한과 북한 지역을 이어주는 통일의 징검다리가 될 것입니다. 통일을 향한 길에서 우리 탈북 청년들이 앞장서겠습니다. 통일을 위해 우리 모두 함께 나아갑시다.
아
Merci beaucoup à la technique pour cet intermède musical. Nous allons
Thank you very
maintenant...
much to the technical team for this presentation. We are now going to receive our National Vice President. We already received our father, our grandfather. Now we are going to receive the child. We represent also the child in a certain manner. So please, let's all welcome our regional vice president, Miss Mica Amanlaman, with a round of applause. Please, let's welcome her.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Reverend Bakary. And good morning again. Good morning to our 21 co-chair, our Grandpa Camara. And good morning to our regional president, Papa Kadima. And good morning to all of our dear blessed family members, our parents. And really, I'm grateful to be here. No, I feel like I'm still in the children position. I know I'm here now also as a young parent, but even from today's sharing, I learned a lot about really how we can, start living together. And personally, from my experience, also growing up actually in Mali and Ivory Coast, Nigeria, and the early parts of my childhood, I feel like definitely they were the best times of my life in that time of growing up, because it was actually with all my aunties and uncles, and the children that were there were like my brothers and sisters, and we were learning together, growing together. And I really feel like it is the best way to really feel, Heavenly Parents' heart, because it's not just your parents, it's everyone, in your community living together. And I can feel like that's a very important structure that we also need to have in our communities as much as possible. And so I'm very grateful for these words. I hope also we can do that. It's not too late, as our 21 co-chair mentioned. It's not too late. We can still do it even now. So thank you very much for that, those words, and also sharing from our true parents' perspective of how really the true family is. So for me today, I won't be long actually, because it's more going to be sharing about the matching process and how we can share about the coming up matching process. So I would like to present that, and hopefully also it can give us some ideas. We're preparing now to enter into the second phase of the program, which is the matching and communication phase. So what we've been doing up until now, this is actually the last week of the education phase, the 21 days of education that we have put in place to prepare and bring everyone together as family to really learn and share together. But now we are wanting to enter into the second phase. Still, education will continue in certain regards, but for matching and also the communication, supporting those who will be going through communication with their potential match. So let me share my screen in order to do that. And then we can share it in more detail. So matching process explained. So this is through the 3-generation assisted matching process that we are putting in place in our region to support the matching of the blessed children and support the matching of the children of blessed couples, blessed families who are living together with blessed families. So just to give you some words again on from our true mother in regards to really what is the best preparation when it comes to preparing for matching and the blessing. And that is really understanding the importance of tradition. So with the progress of providential dispensation, true parents have repeatedly emphasized blessed families' responsibility to inherit true parents' tradition. So True Mother mentions we must follow the original will of the Heavenly Parent. Parents must establish the tradition of parents matching by appropriately raising, educating, and leading their children to the blessing. And what were certain traditions, that we should really be able to uphold in, in our lifetime, our life, even now, as we preparing our children for matching. The first is family hundoke, right? Centering on the Cheon Holy Scriptures and practicing the heavenly word. Really also the desire to guide children in life of faith from an early age. You know, if that hasn't been done, it can still start from now, how we can start creating that lifestyle. You know, it's not too late, even though maybe as a child, they may say, oh, why you're starting now? But actually, it's not too late. How we can just start creating that environment for which we are talking about, you know, how we can start creating that in tradition, living with the tradition, is something that we need to already start doing even now. How we can also educate them in the value of the original 3 great blessings, really understand their purpose of their existence. So sharing even on this point, prepare them to receive the blessing, not just before the blessing or not just before the period of mobilization for blessing, but really from the beginning, how we can even now be sharing with our children of early age to make them even look forward and understand their goal and their realization of the blessing. We need to attend the Sunday service, right? Attend workshops that are held for blessed families and children. Attend also blessed family gatherings. So coming together, as also was shared by our 21 just now, creating that environment of coming together as blessed families. And really one thing that we've noticed is, as much as we, of course, are living by the tradition, if we don't exemplify that by also taking care of our brothers and sisters, taking care of our other family members of the blessed family community, actually, this is very much seen by our children. You know, I really come to recognize how observant our children are. And now having little ones, they're very observant, you know, they can see everything. And I really came to see that actually what we do, even from now, even when they're still young, already creates some sort of understanding for them how they relate later on to other blessed families or even to other blessed children, you know. So this is also something how we can start developing this kind of community. And then, of course, other activities aimed at fostering closer, strong-knit communities of heart where parents matching can naturally take root. I think as we know now, as we're coming together, and True Parents have given us the role as parents, as blessed parents, to be able to make the matching for our children. You know, the biggest challenge that I think a lot of us face, of course, there's many things, but one of them is also where are they, how to bring them together, how to find that match. And I feel that's because perhaps we haven't really created that close-knit, strong community where, you know, we really can know even already from now who is out there, who is my family member, who is my who is in this country. You know, of course, now with the connection of Zoom and things like that, I think we're more able to do that than we were in the past. But not only externally in terms of communication, but even in terms of heart. You know, how can we even know each other and connect with each other? And I think this is where this point of prayer for each other, longing for each other also is a way for us to become closer and start forming that heart where we can then start really bringing our families together. And one quote also from our True Mother that I feel is very clear in regards to what we need to really share when it comes to preparing our children for the blessing. And True Mother mentions, you need to raise your children or second generation in such a way that the first thing that goes into their heart is the divine principle. And when they does come to stand in a well-centered position where they follow absolute sexual ethics, you can even let them dance or do music. You still need to take care of them well until they reach maturity and receive the blessing. So this point I really feel is very clear that, you know, of course, we as our blessed children, as children of Heavenly Parent, we are meant to be able to do anything, right, related to what Heavenly Parents created. So dance, music, arts, you know, different profession. But what is important, the key before even doing that is really being able to feel and understand, you know, the True Parents' heart through really understanding the divine principle, right? Really put that in our heart so that whatever comes in our space, wherever we are, we can really keep to that tradition and really keep to the tradition of actually absolute sexual purity, you know. So a lot of the time, I think as growing up, we were very well protected but sometimes even so protected that we couldn't expand our different passions and skills. And because, we weren't, things related to especially music and arts, I feel were very much taken by the outside world. And so it was not easy to get into that without, our parents maybe even being a bit concerned. And which is a natural thing, because actually it is. Without really a clear, stable identity, it's very easy to be moved into a direction that you may not want to be in an environment that is so strong in terms of the satanic way. So that's why I really felt that, in many cases we were restricted, and that also kind of created a bit of frustration, right? Because we wanted, and it's normal to want to fulfill a passion. We're all connected to God, and that fulfillment of that passion is also what, connects us to God. But in that moment, we were restricted. And that was a time that was necessary, perhaps, to really support and create a strong community and environment where our children are not lost. But what I really feel is, as much as we want to protect our children, what we really need to come to understand is how we can really bring the divine principle to be part of us, and bring this tradition of sexual purity to be part of us, so that when we do face the world, we will be able to manage, we'll be able to deal, and we'll be able to start, going out into the world, but not being influenced by it, but actually being able to overcome and take over, bring God's culture, bring God's word, bring God's lifestyle into the world, and start infiltrating the world in that way, instead of being consumed by the satanic world. So this is where I really feel how it's very true. Chumada mentions this, and she says, after that, you still need to take care of them well until they reach maturity and receive the blessing. But she really was kind of saying, once that's there, then let them go, let them do and fulfill their passion and their calling, centering on their original heart. And the last thing also, before going into the matching process explanation, is also why I want to express also the necessity of really blessed family and the youth department on the structural level of our organization needs to work together. Because actually, when it comes to blessed family education, it involves all parts from, because families, we can't just separate them at once, okay, now you're an adult, okay, you're not, not involved in this education, or now you're a child, you're not involved. I feel like there's a cycle that we really need to come to understand about life, right? We all know that we are born, and then we go through the different stages of our development as children, eventually to then becoming, young adults going through high school and university. And then ideally to be able to receive the matching and the blessing around this time, right? Around the time of before university or within university. And then going now into the position of being blessed as a couple, and then newly blessed couple, to eventually new parents, and then parents of young children, right? Parents of children of blessing age or matching age, and then parents of blessed couples, and then grandparents, right? And then going now into our eternal life, and then returning as birth. So I really feel like this is a cycle where we learn the 4 realms of heart: children's love, sibling love, conjugal love, and parents' love. So in many cases in our movement, right, we have the youth section developing and supporting this side of the youth program. But then we also have blessed families supporting and developing this side, blessed family department. However, I really feel the need of the unity of the two, because when the youth basically are supporting the education of this group of youth, right? But to eventually get into the blessed couple life, and then of course parent life, right? And then as parents also, you are going to be preparing your children for, going now into education in this area. So what I'm trying to express here is the desire to really bring the two together, because even when it comes to education, as parents, understanding what are the youth being educated, what kind of style or process that we, the youth feel are important to maybe guide and support their younger siblings. It's also something we need to listen to, to be able to help even our own children to be able to go through that process, and to be able to, understand the teachings that we're trying to offer. So this is important, but at the same time, the youth department or the youth should really understand also what are the blessed families' needs, what are the parents' needs, what do they require, what is their situation, what kind of communication do they feel they need with their children that we can maybe help as elder siblings, right, to support our younger siblings to understand their parents. So this kind of a relationship is really what we need to have. And that's why this National Blessing Committee that we're putting in place, and even the Regional Blessing Committee, and even the structure that True Mother put in place with the grandparent, parent, and children positions of leadership is really there for that purpose, you know, to really come together and to form this unity, which will be beneficial for the whole family, not just for one group of the family, but the whole family, because the family is not just a parent, it's not just a grandparent, it's not just a child, it's all three. And that ability to work together is very important. So that's why the Blessing Committee is here for that purpose. And I just wanted to reinforce that. I've been reinforcing it all through this week in all of my sessions, but I just feel it's very important because more than just even this program, the unity of this three, you know, centering on this structure of the three generations that we also want to happen on the national level, with the centering on the national leader as a central figure, the BFD, you know, and parent in the parental position, and then the youth leader in the sibling position, in the children position, to be able to really come together and bring, you know, share their ideas about what to do in relation to education for the parents or education for the children, and come together and really support that. You know, it doesn't mean that everyone has to be involved in everything, but at least that communication, that sharing, and that you know, support is there. You know, so that when the youth want to hold something, yes, they become the subject of that program, but that's authorized by the national leader, right? Or that's supported by BFD to even bring parents, to tell their parents, okay, the youth are holding this program, please bring your children, right? And then the opposite, if the blessed families are holding programs, right, and they require, you know, the focus of the whole community, the youth are also coming to bring their siblings or support even parents to come to the program. The national leader obviously bringing the authority and the kind of heavenly fortune through his acceptance of the program. So this is where this Trinity, even on the national, on this leadership level, is very, or department level, is going to be the key to also solving and bringing more real solutions actually to our family challenges that we are facing in our community. And so I want to again emphasize that, and even as parents, you know, you stand in the position of parents already, and how we can even work together to bring other parents to join, you know, and this understanding of working together as a community and supporting each other, you know, not criticizing each other or not saying, oh, this program or the youth are doing okay, what are they doing, and not being so maybe even critical of it. If we feel there's a challenge there, maybe how we can bring it up on the table with the national committee and be able to find solutions on how we can best move forward with this program or with this activity that is being proposed. So this kind of communication needs to happen, but always looking at each other's side, right? We all have a role to play in voicing what God wants to share through this unity. So this is what also I wanted to emphasize. So now I will go into how to qualify for this matching process. I think many of you here, you've been now part of the education program. Some of you have children of blessing age. Ideally, we wanted all parents of children of blessing age to also be involved. Actually, all parents to be involved, because as we can see, the education is not just for children of blessing age, it's just how to be parents, centered on the true parents' ideal and tradition, right? So, but now we want to also specify for those who are of blessing age, because we want now to enter into the second phase, or allow people who would be interested to go through this matching to get matched through this process and be supported to get matched through this process. So this is going to be what I'll be sharing now, a little bit the outline of what that is. But we'll be having an orientation session tomorrow, which will be for all of the potential candidates of this who would be interested in this matching process. And at the same time, of course, the parents of those potential candidates. So first of all, to be qualified for the matching process, when we started the program, we wanted first everyone to register to join the education program, which is the program you are now on, to attend all the sessions that are required of you. We wanted this also to be done by parents and children, because this is not just one side program where only the children are receiving, but also the parents and also even the leadership. So we've been holding this where we wanted at least all parties to be involved, but especially the parents and children, that they need to join the 3-generation program. And then the third point was also we wanted to assign or have a matching supporter assigned to the potential candidate to be able to assist in all the required documents and steps to become a qualified candidate. So the National Committee, was really here to support in promotion and also creating on-site programs and also doing visitation. We have been encouraging them to do that, and we hope that we can still do that. Also, the National Committee is registering the attendance also, and also encouraging participation. And we want to make sure also that if those who missed out on being able to attend all the sessions, that they also have a chance to watch the recording. So the National Committee also should support in making sure all parents who would like to be part of this process to watch the recordings of the sessions if they missed any. And then also we want to eventually create a kind of a relationship between the child and a matching supporter, or the family and the matching supporter, so that you are all well informed of what needs to happen and also supported in that process. So this is also what the National Committee is now working on assigning or finding who can be the support person for you and your children who are ready or wanting to go through this matching. Then the other step is to be qualified candidates eventually for the blessing, right? And the qualification for being a blessing candidate is to be able to fill out, right, your intention to be a blessing candidate, the blessing form, and then also the 7-day workshop, 21-day workshop, so fulfilling the education content, the blessing interview, which involves the confession and sharing of that, and then the 3-day fast, medical test, and also blessing fee. So this is for being a candidate for to be qualified for the blessing of both first gen, Jacob children, and also second generation. Now, in the case of this coming up matching process, we also are fulfilling all these steps. But what we want to emphasize is the first thing that we will ask for all potential people interested in this matching process is to fill out the matching application form. So this is not the blessing form, but it will be a matching application form. And also we'll have a matching interview. And this is where they'll have an interview with one of our, the regional office team, 3-generational team consultants that we are going to put in place. And they will be sharing, we'll be going through their different qualifications and sharing on their matching feelings and preparations, and also any challenges or issues they may have, in order to then determine and share what is their necessary step to become ready now for the blessing. So this is where we'll be really making sure everyone has a pathway to the blessing. Whether it's this blessing or next blessing, but definitely a pathway to the blessing in order to really prepare them for making sure they are on the right step. So this is where we will be doing that. Ideally, we will check also their education content. Ideally, most people should have completed the 7-day and 21-day workshop content already. We'll also be holding, everyone should be finishing their blessing interview for those who will be ready for the blessing or qualified for the blessing. And also everyone should be able to complete their 3-day fast if they haven't done it yet. Complete their medical test. This is absolutely necessary before matching can be done. And that is also being given. And also be able to prepare their blessing fee, already start preparing, giving and contributing for the completion of the blessing fee. So these are the steps that need to be taken into place. And therefore we've given actually deadlines for this, because in order for us to get all our documents to prepare for the matching, we need everyone to complete these necessary steps by March 1st. So not very long from now, actually only a week from now. So really already, if people are interested in going through this matching process but have not yet done some of these steps, we really encourage everyone to do that as soon as possible. And then once, those who are interested to apply for this matching and eventually the blessing through this process, we want every one of this potential category, those who are single, second gen, and also Jacob children, to be able to first join the orientation, which will be held tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. GMT. So this is for all potential candidates, everyone who is willing to go through this matching process and who is interested at least to know more or be ready to go for the matching, they should all join the orientation tomorrow, which will provide more detail on what exactly they need to do for second generation, also for Jacob children, a little bit different process, and also for parents, right, as yourself, what will be really your role in this process. So this is for tomorrow, where we'll go through more detail. So we want to encourage everyone of a single blessing age, who was single of blessing age, and second gen and Jacob children to join this session as much as possible. Even if they may not feel they're ready yet, it will be good for them to be able to listen and hear what is the steps if they feel a calling to join. And then once that is done, we will have the application for the matching, and therefore also go through the matching interview. And then from that, we will then give the pathway for those who will be preparing now for the blessing, those who will need special grace or different steps that need to be taken. We will also inform them of what needs to be taken in order to prepare for the blessing. So this is what is necessary for applying now for this process of matching. So what is important here is really joining tomorrow's orientation, because that's where more information will be given. Now, just to give a timeline again of the process as a whole, the second phase. So we are now concluding the first phase. Basically, this week, as we end this week, is the end of the first phase of 21 days that we've been putting all together now for education and devotion. And so this will be concluding on this Sunday. And then we'll be entering now the second phase, which is preparation for the matching and eventually the communication of the matched participants, candidates. So what is important here is that the week of preparation is only now this week and next week, where all the documents, medical tests, interviews and confessions, all of that need to be done this week and next week for anyone who wants to go through the matching process, through this matching process. So this is important to know. As I said, the deadline will be the 1st of March in order for all the preparations and documents to be sent. And from March 5th until March 7th will be when the leaders will make their devotion. The 3-generation regional president, centering on the regional president, will offer the devotion to make the suggested matching, and then the parents now to receive that matching, but then also now make their devotion and also communication with their match parent to communicate in order to make a decision, and then the decision to be announced to the children if they decide. And then the children also to have a period of devotion before they make even a decision to enter into communication with the match that was given by their parents. So this is what is the timeline. So just to really emphasize, it's very short. Basically, in the next 3 weeks, the period of matching and matching preparation, document preparation, and then also devotion and decision to enter into the matching with our potential match. So this is what will be coming up. What's important here is that the 3 days of the communication will be where the parents also will be playing a very big role in making their decision together with each other as couples, together with each other as other families. And we will be also giving some guidance on how to do that, or at least some approach of best practice in regards to this that can help also deepen the communication, which actually is very needed because it's not only the children coming together, it's also the parents coming together, the families coming together, forming the match as a family. So this is why we want to also guide in this process. And then, so what preparations do the parents need to do? Well, mainly you need to complete the education sessions Those of you that have not been able to complete everything, then I would recommend you listen to the recordings. Please ask the National Blessing Committee, centering on the national leader or BFD director of your nation, for where the recordings are, and please listen to them. Second is attend the matching orientation tomorrow, which is also with your children. Bring your children to join, those of blessing age single, and that will be Thursday, 23rd February, so tomorrow, 5 a.m. GMT. Then step 3, communicate also with each other as a couple, as parents, right, as husband and wife. Make, in regards to this blessing process, and, if there's any issue, any questions you may have, also approach the National Blessing Committee, centering on the national leader, the BFD department in your nation, and also make devotion together as a couple as you prepare now to match your children. This is a big step in your preparation as well. It's the internal aspect. And then fourth is also hold conversations with your children regarding the matching, their feelings, their concerns, their fears. I feel this is still very important. And even in this process where the leadership is supporting, it's not going just to the leadership. It's actually the parents who really need to be the ones to understand their children also, and also understand from the perspective of also heavenly parents. Really look at what is it that heavenly parent wants me to really share with my children, or listen from my children. So this is what also we really want conversations to be had, not just left, but also to be had together, creating that environment to start really conversing and sharing together as parents and child. And then, so that's for the parents' preparation, but I think tomorrow when we attend the orientation, it will be clearer. So please make sure you join tomorrow's session as much as possible. Bring also your children. We also have the National Committee. We've been requesting them to, from basically this period to prepare and support in bringing everyone to the matching orientation tomorrow. We also want them to give their list of those who are potential to join, or who are part of this category of single, second gen, and also single Jacob, and to fill that out, list up all the people who will be able to be part of this. So if you feel, you want to share as parents now, you can also tell your national leader or BFD leader or youth leader in your nation that your child will be joining, that your child is interested. This is also possible to share in order for them to make this list, because this needs to be submitted by today, 2 p.m. in order for us to prepare for the orientation tomorrow. Then also, of course, they need to hold visitations and also call the potential matching candidates to encourage them to join. And this is where now why I'm sharing this. Of course, this is a national committee, but as I said, you as parents also play a very big role in encouraging your children to join. So it's not just the national leader or BFD leader or youth leader, but even we as parents to be playing that role. So that's why I'm expressing that you are part of the mobilization as well. And if you also know parents or children who are not aware of this, please contact them. Maybe the national leader may not know. So this is where we want now all of the parents who are here present to be part of the mobilization, and really let's bring as many children and as many parents to be able to be aware of this matching process and the potential for bringing and making, allowing our children and allowing the youth to be matched this time to prepare for the blessing. So that's what I would like to share today. Just as I said, it probably wasn't that long, but really to express that we are preparing the 3 generation. We are meeting every day in relation to this, Cheon, the regional president, and myself, to really create the best preparation to support you as parents, to support the children, to really get ready for the upcoming matching and the blessing. So any questions you may have, please orientate it also to the National Blessing Committee. They are also well informed. We've been having meetings with them. And if any questions they don't know, they will also direct to us. So thank you. I hope this also can help, and let us really prepare for tomorrow to receive also the orientation at 5 a.m. GMT. Thank you very much.
Ovation pour notre vice-présidente régionale, infatigable vice-présidente, en tout cas au four et au moulin, en ce qui concerne les secondes générations. Il faut encore On lui donner des ovations, elle mérite cela.
Vice
S'il vous
President
plaît, chère famille bénie centrale.
for second
Donc,
generation
que
peace.
nous,
Demain
demain à 5 heures GMT, il faut inviter tous les dans tous les coins et recoins de l'Afrique pour que les parents et les enfants soient là.
You have to invite all the children, all Africa, so that parents and children be together for the orientation session concerning the matching of your children. So if
De raison
your child is not yet matched, is not yet in a process, there's no reason for you not to be here tomorrow to have this opportunity. And also, matching supporters, if you said yesterday, it's an opportunity for you to really go
seront bien là demain
and
pour recevoir
visit your
cette
candidates and make sure that your candidates
vice-présidente.
and your parents will be there tomorrow to receive the session of orientation. Thank you once more to our
Et là, nous allons
regional
parler
vice president. We are
des
now going to
premières
move on
générations
to announcements and
avec l'autorisation de la technique.
as a word, speak of first generations. I'm going to share the screen with the authorization of the technical team. So these are
qui ont été
the announcements concerning our goals.
Région Nord, nous avons
You should
un
surely
total de
know
200
this is the
candidats
goal
pour les
that was given to us
et
as a per sub-region. For the sub-region North, their goal is 200 first generation and six second generation for sub-region West,
et dans
195
la sous-région
first
Centre
generation,
à
60 second
15.
generation, sub-region
Et notre
South, 75 first and 25 second, sub-region East, 31st, 10 second, sub-region Center, 545 first and 150 second generations. So in total for the region, our goal is 1,350 blessing candidates. So please, each and every one of us have to work in order to reach this goal. As you know, our true mother is celebrating her 80 years old, and we her 80 years, and then we have to bring her a gift, and the gift is not money but a candidate that can contribute for reaching the goal of 80,000 candidates. So even if your child for second generation is one more candidate you're bringing for the accomplishment of this goal. So the latest date that has been set for the 23rd of February, this latest date has been pushed to the
2023, s'il vous
15th
plaît.
of
Faites de votre mieux
March 2023, please, by
au
the
niveau
15th of March 2023. Let's do our best in order to reach and to close this goal at the regional level. Also, we would like to remember concerning first generations. You are depositing your candidates by filling forms. You have application forms and you also have your My Life Story form that you have to fill also with different tests, and also the participation concerning the blessing funds reset. If you cannot pay all the $100, you can pay at this part so that we can be able to send your fines. There was a wise from Ivory Coast that said, not
de recevoir la
giving
bénédiction.
anything. That is what is bad. So please show your will of receiving the blessing. Sometimes blessing candidates say they don't have money to pay blessing fees. It's not correct. Maybe they don't understand the sense and the value of the blessing, because if you understand the sense and the value of the blessing, let's assure that even our iPhones, even our smartphones will be ready to sell them to pay them and these blessing funds that will give us the qualifications and all the spiritual aptitudes to receive the grace and the blessing of our beloved true parents. So these dear candidates, dear parents, dear matching supporters,
Toutes les secondes générations, les
we
premières
have to
générations,
encourage
ces
all the
conditions
blessing candidates, all the first generation to really feel these conditions in order to participate in the blessing 2020. So with this blessing that will be officiated by the heavenly parents of heaven and earth and humanity in the greatest temple ever on earth. let's central families. Is there somewhere else we have to be on the
le temple Chonil. Mais
7th
pour
of
y aller,
May?
votre
Nowhere
votre
else apart from the Cheon
billet,
temple.
un
But to
candidat
be in this
à la
Cheon
bénédiction.
temple, you have to go
Nous
with your
soyons
passport
Chonwiwon,
and your
que nous
visa.
soyons président
And this
régional,
passport and this
l'IFD,
visa is at least
en tout
one
cas,
blessing candidate.
n'importe pas
Let
ici. Il faut venir avec
us be
candidat pour que tu sois acclamé par vrai
let
parent.
me be regional president, national leader, titles here and
Merci beaucoup.
important.
Nous
You have
allons
to
maintenant
come
avec
with your candidate so that your
l'annonce.
heavenly parents should clap
Voilà,
for you.
demain, le 23 février à 5 h du matin.
Thank you very
Voilà,
much.
aura lieu
Let's move on to the second announcement.
orientation. Donc, s'il vous plaît, il faut véritablement mettre en œuvre les enfants. Je dis bien qu'ils ne sont pas dans un processus et qui ne sont qui doivent impérativement être les leaders nationaux, les directeurs régionaux, les BFD directeurs, s'il vous plaît, faisons tout à temps pour qu'ils soient connectés et suivre cette session d'orientation qui va leur donner l'opportunité de pouvoir être matchés et l'opportunité de pouvoir recevoir cette grâce et cette bénédiction des vrais parents. Rappelez-vous, la a été la seule génération une médaille de félicitations venant des vrais parents de l'humanité. Et qui sait, cette génération de 8000 candidats standards, qui sait ce que les vrais parents vont leur donner? Parce que ça sera la première génération qui va faire la bénédiction dans le temple Chonil qui sera inauguré le 5 et le 7, ils recevront la bénédiction. Donc, s'il vous plaît, c'est le moment, c'est l'occasion. Nous avons encore le temps. Pour les premières générations, jusqu'au 15 mars, nous pouvons encore envoyer les candidats. Pour les secondes générations, sûrement, jusqu'à fin avril, on pourra encore apporter des candidats. Merci beaucoup, merci infiniment. Nous allons avancer sur notre programme, c'était les annonces. Et pour cela, nous allons appeler donc celui-là même qui a ouvert la porte de notre région et celui-là même qui est à même habilité de la refermer, j'allais dire notre président régional. S'il vous plaît, acclamons et recevons les mots de clôture de notre président régional.
Merci beaucoup, Révérend Bakary. Je ne savais pas que tu avais aussi ces qualités d'animateur et de mobilisateur. En tout cas, s'il y a des gens qui ne peuvent pas répondre, ils sont insensibles. Hier, c'était hier ou avant-hier, alors que nous étions dans une réunion, toi, les Cheon co-chairs, la vice-présidente et moi, et sur ce programme,
thank you very much. I didn't remember you had this power of
le programme des intervenants.
moderation.
Oh,
So,
les
thank
Cheon
you.
étaient
Yesterday, I think yesterday or day
bon,
or yesterday when the vice president was given the program, the Cheon one was a little
alors, je lui ai posé la
bit.
question, pourquoi toi tu ne veux pas
He
intervenir?
was like he wanted me to intervene, and I asked him the question, why can't you intervene? He said, okay, I'll do so. So why am I sharing this? Because he himself has to he has to really recognize the fact that it's as if he is I am in the spirit and he's in the spirit, because he said exactly, he shared exactly on what I wanted to share. Because this question of Trinity, I think in many of my interventions I've always mentioned this. There is something that true parents ask us to do.
Aussitôt, quand nous avons fini la bénédiction, que nous n'avons jamais réalisé, que nous n'avons jamais pratiqué ce que et que parfois nous nous trouvons devant des difficultés, devant des problèmes. Nous commençons à chercher le bouc émissaire, nous commençons à nous entrecroiser les autres, alors qu'il y a eu un secret que les vrais parents nous ont donné, que nous n'avons pas découvert, que nous n'avons pas su mettre en pratique.
Meanwhile, there is a secret that true parents have given us, but we do not put in practice. That is the Trinity. And
j'ai reçu un message d'un enfant qui me demandait qu'elle va au séminaire de 21. Elle et son ami.
She will tell me that she will participate in this workshop. Her and her husband. These are children that stayed for long without participating in activities, without coming to church for reasons I can't say yet. And I was asking myself the question, have you ever done 7 days workshop? She said no. But I asked myself, how do you want to go directly to 21 days? So in the afternoon, I want to see you and your husband. I was here in my office when I went out. There were three of them, trinities, three trinities, and I
Jusqu'à les 18 heures, j'ai passé le
I
temps avec.
spoke with them from 2 p.m. like almost
Alors,
6
je lui
p.m.
posé
And what
des
did I discover?
me poser des
I
questions.
was asking them
La
questions, could
cadette,
ask me questions,
nous
and the
voulons faire toutes
young
ces
girl
choses.
one told me,
Raising,
Papa,
la vie
I
mission.
want to do all these things, fundraising,
Quand on
have a
voit la vie des
life
parents,
of missionary, but
ils
when
n'ont
I see
rien.
life of parents,
Nous voulons
that
aussi nous engager dans ces
they have
choses
nothing.
pour
They
devenir
have
comme nos
nothing.
parents. Parce que
So how
nous
do you
avons
want us
appris,
to
les
be
parents ont parlé que c'est
parents to have
vous avez
nothing
dit.
also?
Et
Because
j'étais catégorique, j'ai dit, s'il y a
our
un parent qui vous a
parents,
dit ça,
and I
c'est faux et
told them,
archi faux. Les parents ne peuvent pas dire que si nous souffrons, c'est parce qu'ils sont investis dans le fundraising, ils ont fait ceci, maintenant ils n'ont
I told
rien.
them that if
Ce
their
sont
parents
des
tell
parents
them that
irresponsables.
they are maybe poor now, it's because they invested in the fundraising and in the church. It means that it's wrong, or they are irresponsible parents, because all the secrets to be the richest people possible has been given to us by true parents. And I spoke about this Trinity stuff. So instead of three families uniting
Des fois, trois familles s'unissent
for
dans la
activity for
négativité,
development,
sans qu'il y ait,
merely
faisant les
families
négativités,
unite themselves in
développer.
negativity and thinking
C'est
that sharing
cela
negativities, through sharing negativities, we're going to develop ourselves. No.
une assertion. Donc, c'est juste, moi, j'ai toujours dit le contraire de ce combat. Chacun pour soi, Dieu pour tous. Et pour moi, c'est chacun pour soi, Satan pour tous. Parce qu'il n'y a pas de chacun pour soi et
I've
Dieu peut
always
être.
been saying the contrary of what people usually say. People usually say everyone for themselves and God for all of us. But I've always been saying that if everyone thinks about he or himself, then you'll be Satan for all. You'll not be God for all. So I said that to these children, there were three of them, and I told them, True Mother is talking about educating our children through divine principle. I gave a divine principle book to three children because I'm preparing them to enter in the process. As three blessed children have the year of the blessing. Year to go to the blessing, that is 19, 20 and 22 years that I've not done any workshop, but they have this desire to go to the blessing. So I gave each and every one of them a joint principle book and
les mettre sur le rail.
Program they have to follow so that it will come back to the right path. And when I see the message on the intervention of the regional vice president and also of the 21 co-chair,
nous sommes dans une même
I
assiette.
really thought of this day that I asked him to speak instead of me. Because everything they shared today is in accord with everything I wanted to share. So, dear parents, we have much work to do, and together
vont nous donner des résultats escomptés et
the spiritual world it gives
l'unité
us the necessary results and the power of the Trinity.
nous n'avons jamais
So better late than never. We have never practiced really this Trinity stuff. Why there are so many experiences and it we can share. Those who tried doing Trinity or those who have Trinities, we have to try. For those who tried, but you know what, we have to try again because Trinities are really important. So once more, thank you very much, 21 co-chair, who really gave this secret about Trinity today. So thank you very much. I'm very grateful for that. And you understand why I asked him the question, why don't you want to speak? and that is why he's located today. So thank you very much, Regional President, for these closing remarks. I think that it gives us the opportunity to do a good exercise during this day to call each and every one of us to call our trinities and put back these trinities in action if there was any issue. So we
Nous devons mener
at the
une
end
vie.
of today's section, I have to remember that as essential families, as was said in the Fund care, we have to live a good life,
de
a
la famille.
life,
En tout cas, avec les mots du Cheon,
a
co-chair
good life,
également,
and
l'unité, la solidarité doivent être mises pour que nous puissions.
this family. So as our 21 coaches said, unity, solidarity has to live, has to be amongst us so that we can accomplish our of responsibility. So now we are going to put all of this in a 3 minutes prayer. Let's pray together.
Joe. Merci beaucoup pour vos prières.
Joe, thank you very much for your prayers that went directly to heaven. Now we are going to greet our heavenly parents and true parents. Donjin, Chapumolimge, Kiambe, Baro, honor and glory to heavenly parents and true parents of heaven and earth and mankind. All and glory comes back to them. So we're now going to give the floor to the technical team. Before ending, you should know we have in the chat section a link to do your reflection of today's this morning section. So please, as soon as we finish, do your reflections using this link. Thank you very much. Now we are going to take family pictures. Jinsu, I don't know, Kenta, can you guide the family picture taking? I'm ready. We are all ready with our smiles and our small hearts.
Who is leading the family photo?
Bonjour tout le monde, je vais diriger la photo de famille.
Good morning, everyone. I'll guide the family picture. So ask everyone to open the cameras, please. Open your cameras and make a bright smile. So the small heart that you've already started. Bright smiles. Yeah, don't stop, don't stop. Let's keep smiling.
C'est le plus important.
Please don't forget your smiles. Very important. That's the most important thing even. That's good. We are going to continue. Do the small smiles. Small heart with great smiles. Now we are going to do the middle heart. Still with great hearts. We need your smiles. We need your smiles, please. We are not seeing your teeth. Show your teeth. Smile up to. Yeah, that's good. That's beautiful. Thank you.
Merci beaucoup.
Wow.
Une dernière photo, une dernière.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Merci beaucoup. Merci.
Thank you very much.
Merci à tous et à toutes. Et rendez-vous, prochain rendez-vous.
Thank you to everyone and see you tomorrow at 5 p.m. GMT with all the blessing candidates and with all the parents. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a good day. Bye bye.